On the North River. The boats have landed by the river. The waves crashed against the side of the boat. The birds soaring high. Sometimes I fall into the water. The people are hurrying to load the boxes. Down from the boat. Outside the port, their bright red tiled houses next to each other. The living place of the people of the North. What is not checked out suddenly, there is a loud shout. The roar came out of the magnificent room. It is beautifully decorated, sitting in a red velvet upholstered chair. It's surrounded by gold. A person who is wearing noble clothes. Blue outerwear fleece. He has short hair. Long beard tidy up the mustache. Fat body. In his hand is a model of a boat. It seems that he is the owner of the northern city. In front of the table, in front of him was a man in uniform. One hand in front of the chest. In a sincere manner, he is reporting to the noble lord. Subordinates suspect the bandits and the North Wind actually exist. SAO. They're like smoke. Some are also not seen. I don't know the noble. They really care about the information. This man, Saino, his hands just held the model of the boat. He thinks it's really just fake news. But if it's true, why are our treasures? I can't stand these treasures. He cradled the boat in his hands, and then close to my face and touch. Sad expression on her face. Who has this stupid appearance? He is the Lord of the North. To become a four-muscle method. And then suddenly, he burst, crying like a child on Ba. Who makes the Kier man lose his soul. However, as he wept, he ordered his subordinates. Keep investigating until the harvest is over. Don't let your guard down. Mouth says, hands up, but don't forget to embrace the boat. He looks funny. Master, don't rush. To move the steps. Guided by Wind and me, Na entered the room to become the owner of the Fa Fukai. Father. This is the Atlantic city of exile. To the world Thieu. Don T hesitate to get straight to the point. Where we have intelligence. They can help the owner solve the problem. Then three of them. Your father is the owner of the North. The owners of the Atlantic city sat at the table. Save the wind to roll the honey on the table. The face of the North. Then rejoice again. Happy as rich, he gets the season. Inside is probably news about the SAO bandits. He said he just stepped up. With hands on the jaw. He turned his hand to the 7 priests and said, no need to worry. Intelligence is also difficult to obtain. Sir. Just said save the hand, just swung. 2 fingers in front of the owner, 7 France carefree muscle. I mean, nothing in this world is free. Want to get important information? Of course, it has to be traded for material things or something the enemy needs. I don't know if I'm this stupid fat guy. Do you understand Liu Feng's intentions? And he laughed, and he said with a wink. That's right. See if I'm a bad guy or a bad guy. City delivery. It must be funny to try to stop it. A secret letter. It can change the fate of a country. In exchange for $2. The owner of the Atlantic. Put your finger down and say. Brown umbrella, French cascade photoker, screamed 20 yawns no. The captain clearly stated his request. It's 2 big boats. To your father is the owner of the city. The North Wind was stunned when he heard it. Both of you stand up in unison. What a big boat. They both don't believe in their own hands. Let's raise the cup of tea now. Take a sip and speak slowly. Soon heard. Northern Feng City is famous for using trading boats. We've just built a new port. So, you left out the words. The owner of the 7-inch hand. Save the Baron. You're making it hard for us. The boat is the economic engine of our city. No, absolutely not. Toji raised his hands to his head and crossed his arms in protest. Oops, absolutely not. So if we say in this intelligence, the plan details which day the bandits attacked, from where to attack, how to attack it. Put your hand on the secret. Liu Feng said with a solemn voice. This one. The voice of the waterfall faltered. He was thinking in his mind. If it's true, it could destroy all the bandits. Free yourself from their oppression. Later, the military can develop the boat trade. The owner turned to Tori's son. Asked to ask, but he firmly shook his head. Then suddenly he said, "Give me the boat. It can only be a medium-sized boat." His voice was full of regret. So I want 5 of them. The North Wind said, "Become knife. Just waiting. Liu Feng has closed the contract with the North Feng. Now I know outside the garden. The young lady is also skilled in martial arts, good at medicine, and also diplomats. They are also worthy of the title of owner." The North Wind, after unification, level 4 medium-sized boat for Atlantic City. It's like putting salt. He suspected, or, I'm so glad we ended up being framed. Toji, standing next to me, felt the sound familiar. He thought to himself, all familiar. Last time to the Atlantic, there are hundreds of goats in the same way. Hundreds of horses from something big. Here save the wind. To deliver the bile function of the paralytic tumor to the owner, the North Wind. What the owner of the North Wind shouted. He gripped the gall in his hand, trembling with anger. The bandits were all impersonated by Master Uma's knight. There are more than 500 riders. His voice was increasingly interrupted. No more courage. This time we're dead. Tori's father and son both fell to their knees after reading the book. From anger to fear of discouragement. Father and son hugged each other, crying hoo-hoo. The horse had the horsemen masquerading as bandits. That proves they don't want to reveal their identities. We're planning to destroy all the Kier riders. Who can detect it? Save the Wind laughing casually. Designed for the owner of the North Wind. I didn't expect my father to leave. Selling net shake head. No. Even if you summon the entire army of the North. Nor against the 500 horsemen of the hippocampus. Then the Atlantic becomes us. I'll do a little show for the owner. Liu Feng said with a smile. 2 father and son Tori are crying. When I heard Feng say that, I suddenly knew. I didn't expect such a good owner. Outside the city of Bakfeng. This is happening. The show of the army of the Atlantic. Each person lined up in a line of archers to shoot. The command is fired. The arrows swooped in the air. I'll punch you in the middle through the stela. The North Vietnamese owner was surprised. He asked the exile. Here's what the bow can do. Moreover, the power is very strong. Tori eyes the letter O mouth, the letter A admired. Whoa, no tiger is exiled baron. The show is not over. Please take a look at the ending. A bunch of armored soldiers came running up. Replace the wooden beer here. Save the coral to prepare. The archers raised their bow and started shooting. The armored growers. Launch after the shout of the owner of the Atlantic City. The arrows darted away. To be seen with one's own eyes. Power of the Atlantic Army. The trick is to feel happy in the stomach. It was so powerful just now. It can't penetrate this armor. If it's on the battlefield. He thought he was happy. Toji stood next to him and asked for advice. The Baron did not know the Atlantic was there. How many riders? Save the wind. Laughing Pale wiped out the horse rider, no problem. The two of us looked at each other, amazed by the assertion. Probably two of the Atlantic City. They hugged each other as if they had caught gold. So good, our treasure is saved. I'm really grateful for the Baron. If the North is robbed, the power of the code will increase. By that time, the whole West will be annexed. The Atlantic cannot escape. Helping the North is also about helping yourself. It's a visionary. Actively help the North. It is also an opportunity to destroy the enemy. To hit a ransom stitch well tossed. The words and actions of the Lich Feng. It made my two fathers very happy. The two of them ran to embrace the wind, to the surprise and the look of the Mexican clam. At the newly built port of the Atlantic City, the clear blue water tossed the waves against the shore. The four medium-sized ships of the north. Liu Feng's ashes focused on the harbor. Get off the boat, two beautiful girls. You've returned with respect to your master. The man standing next to me said, sorry. Let everyone worry and save the room. The bull urged Ra to welcome the owner with joy. That's great. There are 4 boats. We can set up our own trading team. Urge immediately to summon Bafu, also has fishing giant CA. Prepare for war. Save the wind, excitedly ordered. Obviously this battle. It's not just the battle of the north. It seems that Liu Feng is prepared for this battle. A long time ago. Back to the castle outside, the air was so clear. Cool inside library room. Let's gather everyone and speak up. The Atlantic City and the North Fenkung have joined the alliance. Joined forces to deal with the robbers of the horse. Security Bafu to people in charge of logistics. Prepare the weapons and set up a therapy team. Taurus 2. Niu 3, you increase the training of soldiers. When it is necessary to conduct drills. Liu Yu, he was in charge of communication with the North. Topographic survey of the North Fenkung. This time have solved the robbers of the code successfully. Whether or not, it depends on everyone. They all shouted in a loud voice. He turned to Niu to talk. It is often said that people know us 100 times. 100 wins. We need to investigate the strength of the horse's cavalry. New 1. The African animal is standing outside the door. I've heard Liu Feng talk about the code. Yu Ma. She continued to stand and listen to the urge. The war is about to start. Afraid of not investigating in time, the best way is to find someone from the Atlantic City. You know the people of the horse. For example, I said here to interrupt the wind. Can't. I can't find you. When you hear that, your hands are tight. You think he doesn't believe you. Hands down, and I feel sad. And she just escaped from the city. I don't want to evoke that painful memory of her. Suddenly, I heard Fong say. This time the girl was surprised. He's worried about me. I've been here no longer, and I'm an animal. Via holding hands again accidentally touched the door of the room. To hear the sound of the great new moan pushing out loud. Who is the outside? I'm panicking. But she opened the door and walked in hesitantly, saying I was. To save the wind and new boom great urge. Before she could speak, the girl was strong. Dare to say, I agree. I can help people. I was a little surprised with the human girl. Keep the wind a little quiet, his eyes fixed, and then he spoke. So good for the intelligence. Here is a very cruel person. A bad mood is killing people. I heard he even brought his knights to hunt the autumn. The people where he manages to train soldiers. But Mahan is very agitated and angry. Dealing with him is not difficult. A lot of people hated him to the bone. Because she's sitting there remembering her years in the city. With a very cruel owner. But next to him was the knight of the kingdom. He has to come. He asked the king's knights in surprise. Via, close your eyes to remember the painful memory. In a hippocampus raging in the village. Miserable people who have to hide behind the bushes. He's not the SAO leader. It's not supposed to protect us. Why kill with us? Either way, you're going to risk them. Oppressed people on the last step. They have nothing to lose. And so disgusted with extravagance, the evil of the city, the owners risk themselves together. They want to kill the owner. Go to hell, he said, and they came together. However, at this time, the horse does not need to act. There was a chamomile knight protecting. He drew his sword a few ways past the civilians. In the blink of an eye, they're all dead. Who would dare to hurt him? I have news from the north. The Atlantic City 3 days ago to the north. The subordinates of you code press. When I read the newspaper, I laughed. Kill my wages. They steal my money and spread fake news to deceive me. But you really dare. He squeezed the newspaper to contain his anger. Song in his heart, it's raising a tremendous amount of anger. He ordered his followers. Go back to the plan early. We have to get rid of this guy. In short, they're all evil. VIA embrace me not cry, hoo. I saw the poor girl. Remembering the memory of suffering and crying is comforting. I want to comfort you a little. He spoke VI. Give me your hand out. It's like VI's obsession hasn't gone away. The girl closed her eyes and cried out. Don't worry, we will avenge you. The man's hand was raised to rub the head of the human girl. She grinned. Thank you, baby. Now Liu Feng looked at baby now asked. You've never fought a kingdom knight before. She shook her head, but no matter who. If you dare to hurt the young master, I will definitely kill him. Mina strongly declared in front of the exile. Bulls and VI Asia. It made the real girl feel amazing. A girl with a beautiful appearance. Slim and weak, but there's the courage of a man. It's admirable. Touching wind in front of the true love of Mexico. He only knows how to call. My now young master. The couple looked at each other deeply. Pretty surprised with details this girl wallets Asian aesthetic. It seems to have discovered a secret. It's the only thing left standing right now. It's like a 1000 volt light bulb. You animals, hurry up. Who dares to be lazy? Don't blame him for being careless. Soldier holding ROI shouted loudly. Urge the beasts to carry wood. Cut the wood. Cut the wood quickly. Everyone's trying so hard to work sneezing. Maybe it's not the big brother who's yelling at me. It's the soul that's carrying a piece of wood on its shoulder and rubbing its nose. Hurry up, don't be lazy. The hated soldier pointed ROI towards the bottom and shouted. Come here, come here. Did you know that this wood is heavy? Calmly replied a little girl with a small tail. The car was holding a bundle of wood in its hands when it slipped and fell. You don't have eyes to see the road. Get out of here. The soldier just said. I just swung ROI up and stomped on her with my foot. Poor girl, she only knows how to hold her head. Hear the noise. The animals working nearby looked back. Made the soldier scream again. What are you looking at? It's just a bunch of animals. The old man beat him to death. He is overbearing. Suddenly on the face of the wounded blackguard. Baby, you're not okay. I just accidentally, but deliberately put a log in the guard's face. Just ask the girl. The soldier now stands up and screams. The slave doesn't let him finish. He rubbed his nose and said he was afraid. I don't see you. The irritated soldier screamed loudly. What do you mean? You have to kill him. The tiger approached the girl. At that moment, his partner shouted at the other side to do something. Not even to prepare. Master Ma will leave in 2 days. The soldiers were afraid to slow down the entire group. Then turn your head away. Don't forget the threat. What if you are lucky? He walked and shouted at the animals he met on the road. What do you look at work? I looked at him laughing. I'm not afraid of you. Put your hands out to hold her. Be careful later, she said, rubbing her head. Humans don't put us in the eye. We're like this forever. She looked up anxiously and asked what she was afraid of. If you don't give up, you have a chance to escape. Steady, I answered with an iron determination. 2 days later, military enlisted into the Yang flag to prepare for war. Flags flying Buddhist part in the wind. The troops in shiny armor lined up in rows. Each row is strictly waiting for the owner's order. Into code paralysis, you horse-riding mask. Appears with a permanent cold face. He shouted out his goal of the northern city. Outside the Atlantic city, Liu Fang's love of martial law echoed clearly. The Kier bandits are stealing our food. To kill our relatives. They make us unable to live. It's time to strike back. The brave men took everyone's sword. Ocean up to protect relatives. Fight to the end. The soldiers standing below shouted. Fight to the end. Fight to the end. Save the order. The entire army set out for the north. Lake. In the capital city of the north. The priests were glad to see the wind coming. Baron, you're here. And Mexico slowly stepped in. I've assigned soldiers to ambush outside the city. Make sure code comes. Are you coming back? Haha, making Baron's work is reassuring. To your father is the master of the north, and enters. Embrace the wind. Happy as children. The two sides are hugging each other. The guards from outside ran into the newsroom. Not good, young man. How to catch Feng Chen 5 miles away, detecting a large number of hackers. Seems to be the man of the code. What can we do? Their intelligence is coming soon. More than 3 days later, Save the Wind was surprised. The two Toji brothers were horrified. Maybe the news of our alliance got out. Master of the Atlantic conjecture. So now we have to do something. There's no way to deal with it. It's not like we're going to die. The owner of the North Wind said. The expression on his face, he replied. I want to use the name of a robber to destroy the North, and then want to use the precious status, thoroughly tolerating the North into the hand. But I'll let him know. Even the gate he couldn't reach. Right now, facial muscles onto father and son, new Toji gradually relax. The horse's hooves stopped in front of the city gate. The North Wind. A loud shout goes out. Kill the AI to break the gate with rewards. Army as large as ants began to storm. Suddenly, bow arrows from all over the middle stitch bouncing down, like a rainstorm. Man and horse the robbers hit. Fall to the ground, lie down like a weed. They cry out in pain. Team 2 launch. Save the Wind to the voice. It's a rain of arrows rushing down. The horse and his subordinates watched from a distance. Of course, this guy is preparing to come. However, it is okay to do so. I command you to let the Kier beasts go up. Command your subordinates clearly. The subordinate who obeyed the order of the horse gave a sinister smile. Master Ma has orders. Give you a chance to win. Come and destroy the gate. If you break it, you will be rewarded. Your servant came to give orders to the animals. When they heard it, they talked. To stand in the aesthetic crowd. Who believes we're animals, not idiots? The head of the horse's subordinates continued to ask. Sao, such a good opportunity, did not catch Sao, great man. Then I help you. The commander took a sword and killed an animal. It made him die instantly. The rest of the animals, he was amazed at his barbaric actions. He kept shouting. All the animals come for me. Who retreated to kill without mercy. Then the soldiers with the knives came close to the animals, forced them to move forward. Don't let the cry out. Standing on the wall, directing his army. Save Fang. Suddenly, I heard the footsteps rumbling. The smoke billowed from below. I warned the soldiers. The second attack is here. Very fast speed, people, prepare. Raise your hand and issue a launch order. Thousands of arrows coming down from above the goal. Plug in. The poor animals are forced to the gate. The horse's subordinate laughed when he saw that. Ha 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 ha. That's how the animals get there first. He whispered in his stomach. What are the knights of the kingdom? What are they good at? We just need to get the North Wind. The first success is ours. Later, we will also have a place. He secretly calculated. Just like his owner. His heart is equally cruel. Some of the animals had to rush to the gate. Only the bottom can dodge the arrow. She even swipes her nose to prove that the game is easy. Suddenly, she heard a loud scream. What are you doing? Leave me. It's the weasel girl with the striped tail. Another animal is holding her up. Cover your face as a bullet. He said, I am sorry, I don't want to die. It's when people are pushed to the end. There is nothing that people dare not do. It's hard to talk about humanity right now. The arrow from above is going to stick in her back. The sound of my feet falling, pushing the two down. What are you yelling at? The little baby ran back and hugged the souls. The beast Kier stuttered. I don't want to die. Not finished yet. He struck an arrow in the middle of his chest. Remember, even animals can't be trusted. I told the little girl. On the city wall, Liu Feng is preparing a series of arrows. They can destroy the hackers. Girl professed. Mona stared down at the bottom of the city. Then she discovered something unusual. Running around down there are animals. They have long ears, the horns and the tails. Baby, now cry out. Wait, young man, that's not bandits. That's the enemy. Baby Na's voice spoke like lightning striking across Tai. Both Niu boomed and saved his face in shock. Back to Mexico. What did you say? Asked the girl. To make sure what I just heard. They put the beast raw as a shield. He said his teeth were clenched together. His eyes flared with anger. The whole village trembled with anger. I can't believe they're so clever. The door is opened. Riders of the Atlantic City came out rumbling. The first person to walk had hair in the shape of a sapling. The horse stepped out. He shouted. Listen to the orders of Lord Liu. He fought a battle with the bandits. The cavalry came out, and the horse was galloping. Ha ha! The knights came out and said it was over. He's wearing a black cloak over his head. Laugh, ha ha, look pleased. He shouted for the Kier beasts to come forward. People around him are executed. The horsemen of the galloping horse cornered the Kier beasts, forced them to run towards the gate, where Liu Feng's rider had just come out. The riders saw the crowd coming in large numbers. Stop the horse. He has hair like a tree. With 2 leaves young Torah. Holler. It's not over. Our formation is ruined. But Liu's cavalry squad opportunity. The wind was destroyed by the beasts. Name bald top black cloak. Knight of the horse. He rushed up and brandished his bright blade at you. The knight has hair in the shape of a thistle. Your spear broke in 2. He was screaming to kill them. A fake army of robbers of the horse rushed to kill. The horse's hooves thundered. The rocks beneath my feet rose up in darkness. Sound of VA swords together trumpet. We fought for a while, the horseman. He's the one with the tree-shaped hair on his head. Was hooded by the robber. The spear in his hand. For the first time, the painting cracked. Now he's broken in 2. Sounds like trouble. And he screamed, fight no more. Fake night robber of you code. Wearing a black top. Laugh, shout for joy. That's all there is to the Atlantic night. The head of the wind is mine. Then the horse's horsemen chased after him. Liu Feng's army go inside the city. He took his first steps inside the city. The horse stopped suddenly. In front of the bandits, it's a group of animals that have been gathered together. Liu Feng's knights stood in front of them protecting them. Liu Feng's knights raised the bow, aimed directly at enemy bugs and prepared to launch. Order to close the launch. The falling rain. The bandits lead the first to die. They're all lying in the open. They were hit by Liu Feng's plan when the knights pretended to lose the battle. The animals saw the bandits dead. Then they're all scared. The shivers are all dead. Why is it not our turn? What smells so good? The soldiers carried out a large barrel of porridge. The smell is so sweet. Makes the animals very curious. At this time, the wind and Mexico appear. He laughed and talked loudly to the animals. Don't worry. We're not harming you. You can eat it. If you want to leave, you are free. What noble is so good but so pitiful? They wonder. Maybe because I've never been treated well by a noble. So, it's hard to believe that such a good noble would show up. While they are still on alert, the little new girl heard that she ate immediately. In front of the hand carrying the little sister. They have a striped tail. Eyes lit up, excitedly leave him alone. Eating is the most important. Get out of the way. Soul's Ti and little girl devouring. It was as good as never eaten. Make the rest of the animals covet. To drooling. They couldn't stand the hunger, they screamed. I want to eat. I want to wait for me too. And then we all rushed to the porridge with our shirts. Watch as everyone can eat. And Mexico felt so happy. Everything seemed to be going well. Suddenly, there was a 7-bar cry. Lao Fong said, "Great man, great man." A galloping horse ran into the announcement. The northern gate has been breached. The cyborg is advancing. To the capital of the north. Become the owner. Keep your eyes open. Surprised by the news just announced. In the north wind, the sound of horses' hooves plowing the ground. The people of the city fled. Hide from the horseman of the horse that is rushing. Prepare for annexation of the north. The horse spoke in a winning voice. The name of Kier is certainly not expected. These animals are just bait. Ha 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 ha, go all out ahead. He pointed his hand towards the capital of the northern city. Order only in the name of bandits. Kill the Lord of the North. Then the North will be my baroness. The plot of the cyborg has been contemplated before. He's a cruel man. Look, I despise this code name. After hearing the news, immediately summon the soldiers. Prepare to give orders. Please, Undersecretary. Hand clasped tight, his eyes fixed on the order of the cavalry. Summon the elite forces. Use the fastest speed to reach the owner. Protect the owner. Liu Feng's orders echoed like thunder. The whole army is on duty. From the balcony covered the owner of Bakfong City. 2 father and son stand watching. I saw an army coming from a distance. The Lord of the North said, "That's the cyborg thief." How did they get in here? Close the door and Dante let them in. The owner of the 7 fascists panicked, he shouted. The door closed in a hurry, but not in time. And then 2 guards were killed. Name you code order. To take the head of the North. Suddenly, a rain came from behind. Arrows stuck in the chest. Into the heads of the bandits and their horses. The horses are down. The bandits died screaming in front of the door. Toji and I were glad to cry. Is to save money and take the lead. The elite horsemen are coming. At an astonishing speed. Hurry up and save us. Mina sprayed the knife. End the lives of the bandits you pass by. Save wind face flaming gas square sharp blade. Glow and go as fast as lightning. Sweeping through the bandits, you feel danger behind your back. He lifted the knife and squeezed it.